Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and whatever else you want to call yourself. We're back. You can't get rid of us. We're a bit like a certain venereal disease that we don't like to mention. So, hello, everyone, and Doku has certain, hopefully, polite opinions he would like to make about Twitter for about 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Doku, give us your polite opinion first.
But polite? Wait, you're gonna make me say a polite? Okay, come on, man. You can't lead in with give me a polite opinion about Twitter and expect me to go for 4 minutes and God knows how many
No.
seconds.
Actually, that's fair. I'll tell you what you can do. As it's me and you streaming, you can always sing if you'd like.
I hate you.
You got two choices. You can sing or you can say something nice about Twitter. Impress me. Which one is it?
So my polite opinions about Twitter. Now, to be fair, the smart choice actually would have been sing because there's nobody actually around to hear it. But
yeah, where's the fun in that?
Yeah, I hate to admit it. You kind of have a point there. There's no real point in engaging in ballads if there's nobody around to listen to them. Now, is there?
Sea shanties, sir. Sea shanties. Do it properly.
You know what? Just gonna let that one roll over me chest.
Roll over, was that? Oh, okay. Like the waves rolling over the side of the ship.
See, I figured you'd get that one.
Of course.
Damn it. I hope
Hey,
that
nonny and other words appropriate. Yes.
and Sharadi, Twitter doesn't make money, and if you don't believe me, look at how much stock their board actually holds.
Theoretically, they're going to be making money if dear old Elon decides to throw money at them until they shut up and do what he tells them to.
Well, if you can buy them out for, I still find it funny, $54.20 a share.
That tickles me.
Yeah,
That really does. Something about that. Just, yes. Good number.
It's quite amusing. It really is. Oh, Elon. I'm not a big Elon Musk fan, but this is one of the things he has done where I can't really knock him for it. Like it's funny. It's hilarious.
Now, question. Do you think he's trolling them? Even if he's trolling with, in an honest manner, could he possibly be going for a full troll?
I don't know, actually. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, part of it could be he's trolling them, but if I had to give a gut opinion, I think he just wants them to sweat. I think that's really all it is. I think he wants.
Okay with that.
I think he wants them terrified. Because remember when he bought, what was it, like 9.4 or 9.8%?
9.2.
Oh, it was 9.2.
Yep.
Yeah, notice how quick they were like, hey, Elon, come to the board. And it's like, yeah, well, think about that. And
oh, yeah.
They're like, he's going to bring so much to the company. And then Elon's like, but if I do that, I can only own 14.8%. Nah, I'm not going to do that. And then he comes around like, what, a day or two later, is like, I'm just going to put out a tender bid and it's trading for what? 40 something dollars? Yeah, I'll give you 54. And then they lose their shit. It's like, that might have been the purpose. Just make them sweat, make them think like, oh, okay, he's actually going to do it. We don't have to worry about him. And then, nah. Because here's the funny part.
Yeah.
If Elon's not on the board, then he's not beholden to any of the rules that the board members are, which means he can own more than 14.89 whatever percent it's supposed to be. And because Twitter is a publicly traded company, there's nothing to stop him from buying 51% of the shares. And if he owns 51%, then guess what? He's the majority shareholder. He can
So,
make the company private.
so what you're saying is fuck them.
That again, drive the price up, let it come
By the way,
down.
that was your subtle clue.
Oh, yeah, fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
But it is smart on Elon's part because again, he's he's a private shareholder, not a board member. He can buy as much as he fucking wants as long as he can acquire 51% of the outstanding shares. He owns the fucking company.
Yeah, it's so funny if he does. But then again, there's that whole air quotes poison pill close quotes that they're talking about.
I mean, they can try to do that and drive the price up or get banks or hedge funds to come in and buy as many shares as possible. Sure, they could do that. But Twitter doesn't make fucking money. What is Elon going to do? Okay, I'll sit and wait 6 months and let the share price collapse because there's no way they're going to drive it back up. It's just going to lose money. They're going to lose more money on it. And and again, the only people they have that's really going to be able to bail them out on that situation is people that can dump more money and keep the stock price propped up for as long as possible until Elon comes in and says, "Okay, I'll buy it now." It, they can't do jack shit. And most hedge funds, people like Vanguard, BlackRock, like they're not going to do that for a long-term period of time because they're going to lose money on it. They're not going to
Yeah.
come in and buy shares for 50, 60 bucks. That would be like me saying, I'm going to take all of my capital that I could be spending on other things to come buy your shares for 45, 50, 60 bucks, only to have it go back to $30 in 6 months' time and then lose my investment. And, I'll literally lose like 30 to 40% of my investment. Nah, at that point in time, I'm going to tell Twitter to go fuck itself.
Fair.
And Elon knows that. He has enough money to buy fucking Twitter.
Yeah. Apparently, last thing I saw, he had enough to buy it something 8 times over, which is hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. He can buy the company, turn it private, and if he does, those board members that are being paid like $100 to $300,000 a
Mm-hmm.
year for doing pretty much nothing.
Yep.
Well, when the company goes private, guess what happens to those board seats? Toodaloo.
Sounds a little bit like the board that dear old Hunter Biden's sitting on. Okay, good to know. Oh, was I not meant to say that? Oops.
But again, that's the funny part. They seem to think that they can stop a private investor from investing in a public company.
Shirati has said, which is why the DOJ is right. He's up his ass right now. This is not something I know about, so I'm just gonna have to look and go,
No, that's the thing. The DOJ is going to look at it, but again, you're talking about now the richest man in the world, and if it's money that's coming out of not any other investments that he has, but straight out of his own pocket. Yeah, there's not jack shit they can do about it. I hate to break it to you guys, but if Elon wants to buy Twitter, all he has to do is acquire 51 shares at whatever price. So if I own significant shares in Twitter, all I have to do is say, well, he just offered to buy them all for 60 bucks a share. Okay, let's send it to the SEC. SEC approves it. Guess what? I get my 60 bucks a share. Elon gets all his shares. Deal done. There's not jack shit the DOJ can do about it. I mean, they could try. They can maybe like gum up the system and make it take like 6 months for it to go through, but at the end of the day, it goes through anyways.
Shirati has said richest via governmental contract, so yes, they can. Does that mean anything to you, mate?
Yeah, riches versus governmental via governmental contracts. Yeah, here's the thing. The only way that would apply is if Twitter has government contracts, and well, if they did, they wouldn't have been disclosing them to their investors, which would make Twitter it let's just say it would put certain individuals in a shit ton of rather precarious. Well, I'll just say it puts them in a rather precarious situation if that were to apply at all.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I'm willing to be wrong here, but doesn't NASA actually use SpaceX to actually go up to the ISS now that they're not allowed to go into Russia?
Yeah, he already kind of has a precedent for doing things like that, but
Oh,
we're
I'm
not.
just checking.
But we're not even talking about a company like that. We're talking about a social media company.
Hmm.
It If this was to apply to a social media company of which Elon Musk does not own one himself outright yet,
Yep.
it, if they were to try to apply this, it would raise questions. And
Oh,
questions I doubt that they want answered.
did you see there was apparently a thing going around on Facebook asking Elon Musk to buy Facebook? Did you hear about that?
Uh no, I didn't actually.
Yeah, apparently there was a thing. I mean, I don't know to what level this is. This is just something I saw and sort of grinned at and carried on. But apparently, people are hoping that he'll buy out Facebook, so as Facebook is no longer what it is right now, which is me being as polite as I can.
Yeah, so here's the weird thing about that.
Hmm.
Last I checked, Facebook actually did have one or two government contracts, so I don't think Elon could actually buy Facebook.
Oh, okay.
But as far as investor filings and SEC filings are concerned, Twitter does not.
Okay.
Also,
Ah,
the other thing to take into account is that these would all be separate companies. So it, I guess maybe you could make the argument Elon could buy Facebook if he took it private and separated certain aspects of the company and spun them off. That is another way of going about doing things, but as far as Twitter is concerned, I don't see how that would be a hindrance to him unless Twitter admits that it does have government contracts, because it, let's be blunt, it's Twitter, it's not Starlink, it's not SpaceX, it's not Tesla. They would all be separate companies because you're buying it as a public company. Now, if you
yeah.
wanted to merge them or do other stuff with them, that could be a much more complicated issue, but I doubt. I'm pretty sure Elon's thought about this already. Otherwise, I don't think he would have put in a tender bid to begin with.
So, I mean, I just want to ask this last one before you go off on why it is you think Twitter sucks. Why would it be a bad idea for him to do it? I would have thought that if he could, or mix it in as one thing, wouldn't that be easier for him? If I'm wrong, again, do let me know.
Well, and that's kind of the whole point. He wants to just buy it and make it private.
Okay.
So there shouldn't be anything. Well, assuming he can acquire 51% or more of the shares in the company,
Yeah.
then there's nothing really stopping him as long as he doesn't try to like attach it to another company that he has, especially one that has government contracts or anything like that. It He would literally just take the company private, fire the board of directors, and then, well, Elon now owns Twitter. And
That would really piss off people at Twitter, wouldn't it? If he just fired the board of directors, that would drive them up the freaking wall.
well, that's the thing. He doesn't even need to fire them. He just takes the company private just by proxy through that one act alone. There was no board of directors. It's a private company.
Okay. Hmm.
Which it is strange to have a board of directors that collectively own less than was like 100 or 1,000 shares of the company. Like, I shit you not, I could sell I could sell not even all of my assets. I could sell a it would be less than a tenth of my assets, and I would hold more shares of Twitter as of right now than all of their board of directors put together, excluding Jack Dorsey.
Um,
If I sold half of my assets, I would hold. It would be well over 3 times, including Jack Dorsey. They don't hold jack shit. It's like some stupidly low amount, like $3,000 or $4,000 between all the board members, including Jack Dorsey. It's like $10,000. It
okay,
ain't shit.
I'm just going to say it, and you're going to tell me why I'm wrong. I fully expect to be wrong. In fact, I actually hope I'm wrong. So why can't you do this, then turn around to Elon and go, "Yo, dude, I've bought all this shit. They can't do anything about it because it's me that's got it. How about I sell it all to you? Because that way it's a private trade between you and him. It's got nothing to do with anyone else." I think you can do that, can't you?
I'm Let's just say if there are certain assets that I still have that perform the way I think they're going to perform, and I have more than 20 or $30,000 of disposable income, which I very easily should within the
Yes.
next 12 to 18 months, and
Hmm.
this is somehow still on the table, for shits and giggles, I might do it.
Just look. As I say, I don't know for definite how this shit works. I'm just thinking that's something for you to consider because they might try and screw him from actually buying these shares, whereas they can't legally stop an independent trade between one person, you, and another person, him. Can they?
Uh, I mean, it would have to be an SEC filing, but if the SEC doesn't see any reason to stop it, then, which I don't see why they would, then
Hmm.
no. There's again, it's a publicly traded company. I buy shares, I own shares. Uh, Someone offers to buy them from me at this price, and I agree to it. Then guess what? Done
That's what I
deal.
thought. That's what I thought. But I've said before, and I'll say again, I know absolutely bugger all about shares. I'm just throwing out what seems logical to me.
Well, see, that's also the reason that you had groups like Vanguard, Citadel, BlackRock, I forget what the other companies, where they came in and bought a crap ton of shares and became majority shareholders to try to rival Elon. I think BlackRock actually owned more shares than Elon like a day or two later, just to
Oh,
prevent that very thing from happening.
oh,
They like
okay.
they're trying to take outstanding shares off of the market and then hold them just to prevent Elon from uh, acquiring those outstanding shares.
Okay, next point I'd like to make. Doesn't that basically mark them as saying we're now your enemy? And you know, do you really think Elon's going to let this go?
Oh, he's not going to let it go, but it very much does say like, yeah, we don't want Elon to own Twitter, and
Which means that if they can't beat him, they're in a world of shit, as he might just decide to absolutely screw them 6 ways from Sunday by basically playing with all the other things they've got.
well, that's the thing. He has the financial capital to actually do something like that.
Hmm.
So they're really just trying to bail out Twitter because I'll cut right to the chase on this one. Twitter doesn't make money.
No,
It These people do not care about Twitter as a financial asset. They do not care about it as an investment. They do not care about Twitter's financial prospects. They care about it because it's a way to control and manipulate information. And as long as they're in control of that platform, they can control and manipulate information, which to them is far more lucrative than dollars. Because
yes,
it, due to the financial system that we have in place, you can make dollars. You can play that game. They're not concerned about that. They're concerned about maintaining the control and flow of information.
yes.
which is why if it goes into the hands of somebody like Elon Musk, they don't like that. Now, if Bezos buys the Washington Post, well, he's on our team, so they don't care about that. But
There's one thing I would like to say here, and I realise I can get a bad rating for it, but I've got to say it because it's killing me. The information must flow.
I'm not going to knock you for it. Not going to knock you for it.
It had to be done, dude. You know it.
No, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really why they're terrified of Elon Musk getting a hold of Twitter. It's the same reason you see them saying, like, well, you don't like Twitter. Why don't you just go to Parler or Gab or True Social or Getter, whatever other asset or social media platform that they talk about. It's because they know Parler, Getter, Gab, these things cannot compete with Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. They're too well established. If it doesn't work out in terms of, oh, the platform is actually becoming competitive, well, look at who's providing the servers. A lot of times these are companies that are controlled by Amazon or Google. So we can cut off your service there. We can go to payment processors, PayPal, Stripe, even things like Patreon, and we can cut you off that way. You know, there are ways to control the opposition. Now, instead of just starting your own, which requires a large amount of capital investment, which Elon could do. But why do that when you could just buy Twitter?
True. It's got recognition instantly.
Which, oh, by the way, like what happened with, what was it? Was it VidMe or was it Parler where the servers were provided by, I believe it was Amazon, and they just shut off their server.
Probably VidMe.
I think it was vid.me, but there's like, we're not going to provide you service anymore. So it's all the, like, they just got rid of all the servers. I think they did it to Parler as well, actually.
Okay.
Because they were using Amazon. Oh wait, no, it was either vid.me or it was Gab. It was one of the two.
Not really sorry to say.
And you know what? I might even be getting it mixed up. But it's like all their entire server service was provided through Amazon. And Amazon just ended the service. No explanation.
You sure it weren't Parler? Because I seem to remember something about Parler and having shit closed out from under it.
I think Parler was because Google and Apple were no longer going to allow the application on their mobile stores.
Okay.
And just completely, basically locked down the site.
Yeah.
I think it was Gab that had the Amazon servers that got shut down, so they made their own.
Okay.
They basically built their own server farm from the ground up. But see, that's the thing with newer services, you can pull something like that, and if, let's say I'm Amazon, I can just say like, oh, well, Parler was getting negative attention. I thought it was a bad investment. I'm just going to pull it. You can do things like that with something like Parler.
Yeah.
Twitter's an already established and publicly traded company that you've been providing service to for an extended period of time.
True.
You're going to have to come up with a really good excuse to just say, well, we don't want to provide server service to Twitter anymore. It's like, oh, why is that? Well, it's not profitable. Yeah, but if it wasn't profitable, then why didn't your board members just sell the whole thing for $54 a share when Elon offered that? Oh, well, oh, by the way, why weren't your board members pursuing profitability? And actually, better question, why didn't your board members collectively hold a majority of the shares, considering you're a publicly traded company, which would have prevented someone like Elon Musk from coming in and buying the company outright, legally, by the way? to begin with.
Fair. Theoretically, being as rich as they are, they did have one really cool excuse. Because I don't wanna. Does that not apply?
And then it would have made you wonder
Mm-hmm.
if your job as a board member is fiduciary responsibility, i.e., create shareholder value, then why weren't you acting on that?
Fair.
It raises a lot of ethical questions that, to be honest, should be being discussed already to begin with.
Yeah.
But it does hammer the point home that Twitter, as a publicly traded company, specifically from the shareholder standpoint, is not there to make money or create value for the investors. It's an information tool.
Okay.
And again, this would raise a lot of questions that I'm sure there's quite a few people who would not like to answer these questions because the implications would be
Uncomfortable, difficult, questionable.
I was going to say somewhat drastic.
Oh, okay. Well, perhaps seeing it's around half hour in, do you maybe want to tell people why it is that you and Twitter have one or two issues this time?
Oh,
And it is this time, let's be honest. Just in case you're wondering, this will probably happen again, but it is what it is, and it's Twitter, so they deserve everything they get.
yeah. Let me before we move on from this topic, I'll just put it I'll just want to make this one point as to why the Twitter board of supervisors or any of the investors might not want to see this come to fruition or happen.
Okay.
Why is Facebook donating money to political campaigns?
I don't know. I cannot imagine. It's not like that's ever happened before. I mean, didn't they do that in the last one? Oh, didn't they do that in the one before? And that's just dealing with the American elections.
Yeah, again, this might raise questions that certain individuals probably don't want to answer.
As I said, they have this wonderful excuse. It's called "cause I wanna." We've got the money. You have to do what we say. This is one of the reasons why I think, as much as it's not going to go well, shit like this really has to be nationalized. If it's going to become, my thought being that if it is going to be classed as the world's chat area, then it has to be nationalized so as no one is in control of it in that manner. It should be free, or I think usable by anybody, not beholden to anybody, in my opinion.
So let me frame it this way. Facebook makes money by collecting and selling data on its users.
Okay, so
this
far.
this is not a conspiracy theory. This is known.
Okay.
Who's buying that data?
Whoever they're bloody selling it to, and you know it.
So, hypothetically speaking, if someone was to come in and buy the majority of Facebook, who has access to the books?
Fair.
Now, we know Facebook is engaged in this already. The same way that we know Amazon has contracts with 3-letter agencies that are engaged in the same thing. Twitter claims not to be. So what happens if Twitter suddenly becomes private and we realize, hey, let me see your books real quick. I'd like to know who's been collecting, aggregating, and selling the user data.
It's going to go well for them, isn't it?
When you put it in that type of context, it makes a little more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like I said, they've got enough money that they can pull the "cause I wanna" or "cause I don't wanna." Shirati suggested call for a convention of states. It's a great idea, but it's what else that stirs up, hun. Don't get me wrong, I think it'd be hilarious and I absolutely, utterly support it. But it would stir up an absolute termite's nest. It really would.
I think you're not wrong when you say it would be hilarious, because I'm just going to be looking who's going to be running for the hills first, because I'll tell you this much: they're not concerned about Elon frickin' Musk coming in to buy Twitter because, oh my god, the outright trolls and he's going to make it a free speech platform and this and that. No, they're concerned about it because someone doesn't want somebody to take it private, because that would give a certain individual access to a lot of information that, were it to say get out, probably wouldn't look very good.
I
And
can make it worse for Twitter if you want. Would you like me to?
I'm curious now.
Now imagine if Elon Musk and Donald Trump go into a company and actually take on Twitter. Twitter now works for Trump.
Now that would be funny, but I don't think it would actually happen.
No, it wouldn't. But it's still, I'm just imagining the sheer nosebleed that would happen as these people lose their living minds and pound their faces against their own desks.
All right, so this is not the original thing I wanted to talk about. Let's put that on the back burner for the moment, because I prefer to talk about this.
Yep.
This is my honest and unbridled opinion about Trump and what his ultimate goal or end game was supposed to be. The whole reason Trump ran for office and waited until the moment that he did was because he was supposed to be a proverbial speed bump.
Yeah.
But it wasn't supposed to change the direction of the car. It wasn't supposed to derail the train. It was just supposed to disrupt things enough that it made it unpleasant, to the point where people actually got engaged, got pissed off, started paying attention. And then once that's said and done, well, hey, are you awake yet? Are you paying attention to what's been going on? Because if you look back, this is specifically directed at Americans, myself included. If you look back at what's been going on since the Clinton, 2 years of Bush, 2 years of Obama, the vast majority of people were not paying any fucking attention other than vote for this, vote for that, tribalist, I don't care, Republican, Democrat. You're not going to be paying attention. You're not looking at what's going on behind the scenes. You're not looking at how these people are manipulating you. You're not looking at the decisions they're making. You're not looking at their hollow and false promises. It's just, hey, we won. Let's go back to just watching this football game or the soccer game or the hockey game and you'll forget about it for the next 4 years. That's how the status quo was for the majority of people's lifetimes.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Donald Trump came in and said, fuck the status quo, then all of a sudden the people who've been living off the status quo got really pissed off, and the people who are used to the status quo, all of a sudden, by proxy, got really pissed off. And it made people wake up to two realities.
Question for you. Do you think if YouTube actually listens to this, they're likely to shit a brick at the idea of Trump and Musk actually working together? Could we possibly get banned for this? Wouldn't that be cool if we did?
If they did, it would actually be really stupid on their part because they're just proving the fact that it's true.
Yeah. At which point, something tells me that that would have to get out there somehow. It's not like, we wouldn't be able to go onto certain other streams and say this a lot, loudly, and often.
Well, but again, this is kind of my point.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's goal is not to be a politician. It never was. Trump's goal was to upset the status quo.
Yeah.
And in that, whether you love or hate the guy, he was successful in doing.
Fair.
Now, the question becomes this. Do you want the status quo to return? Or are you upset with what the status quo has been?
Mm-hmm.
If you're like me, and, well, I don't know, I don't want the government to just decide that I'm allowed or not allowed to do things at the drop of the hat and a whim, regardless of what the Constitution of the United States says. Do you want to be ruled? Or do you want to have as much freedom retained to you, the individual, as possible? I know where I stand. The government can go fuck itself. And I want to retain as much individual rights and freedoms as I possibly can. And if that means voting for someone who's an obnoxious prick, then guess what? I'm going to vote for the guy who's an obnoxious prick because I sure as hell am not going to vote for the person who would want to put me in the fucking gulag simply for saying something they disagree with on a platform that they own by proxy. Cough Twitter, cough Facebook, cough fucking cough.
I did point out the whole thing earlier about South Park and their suggestions with the difference between a douche and a shit sandwich. It really applies in this situation, doesn't it?
And I stand by what I said in regards to that statement. One is
Mhm.
unpleasant but functional and it works and serves a purpose, and the other will give you dysentery and you'll be lucky if you don't die in the first 2 minutes of eating it.
Again, look at your government and tell me how that doesn't connect quite nicely.
I mean, it's true.
Yep.
It's honestly scarily true.
Sometimes, okay, you need an outsider's opinion of the absolute shit show to actually look at stuff and go, oh dear. Okay, and look, what goes on in America is quite simply up to you guys to deal with. I have no say in any way, shape, or form whatsoever to do with this. But I try to give my opinion so as I can give an outsider's opinion. That's all. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I'm not necessarily wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you're not. Trying to think of a different way to frame it so that I cannot be partisan. Tribalistic, I think would be a more appropriate term.
Mm-hmm.
When the government is suddenly afraid, you should be very, very wary of your government.
Yes. If I may, one moment. You may be a capacity surety, but thanks to what's going on in your southern border, there's wide open and says, come in, we can fit anything you like, which says so much about Tijuana, it really does. But again, am I wrong? Didn't think so.
I'm not going to say you are.
Unfortunately, hun, your country needs to do something about your free entry. You're going to have more outsides than you know what to do with. I believe there was something like 100,000 people in a caravan on its way as we speak. Okay, 100,000. Now I know America is huge. All right, it is massive, but 100,000 people—that's got to be a noticeable thing in one caravan. What about the next one, or the next, or the next?
Oh,
Okay,
Jensen, you didn't see the numbers that were released. I don't know if it was last month or the month prior, but how many illegal crossings Customs and Border Patrol had encounters with?
not with you guys. No, I only know about the ones in England. How bad?
Oh, 210,000.
In how long?
1 month.
Oh, that's okay. We had about a tenth of that, and that is pretty shocking.
Yeah. 210, and I'm actually rounding it down.
Wow.
It was like 210,000 and change, like 210,400 something in 1 month.
Hmm. Well, I have said it before, but all of these migrants are actually coming up with a really cool idea. You guys keep saying that you might be running out of food. I'll just wait. Why do you think? Oh God, he doesn't mean yes. He does mean that.
Yeah. If we advertise that, maybe it would
Would you
actually
go into that
secure people.
country if you knew you can get turned to hamburger?
Well, depends on if I was suicidal or not.
Fair point.
I'm just trying to make sure that the earth is recycling everything possible.
Like I said, hashtag feed the world. Hashtag legalize cannibalism.
Greta would be proud.
Thank you.
Uh, damn it. Oh, goodness.
hmm
But, yeah.
One sec, one sec. It's a nice idea, SSM, but why waste bullets? A knife just does the same job. Trust me.
Oh, who needs a border wall when you just have a moat made of wood chippers?
I have actually suggested what you do with the border wall, but nobody likes my concepts. Okay. But I'm going to say it again just because shits and giggles. What you do is you go into Mexico 1 mile and stop. Okay. You turn that whole thing into a no man's land and you lay mines everywhere, but each mine actually has a number. And then you actually put it on the basically on TV. People can actually buy a lottery and buy a number. If their mine actually gets a illegal trying to get in, they actually get some sort of reward. This way, it becomes PPV, a pay per view, and you get money for it, and you guys actually get a benefit of some sort of reward. What do you think?
I'm not going to say it's a humane idea.
I don't care about humane.
I'm also not going to say it isn't a good idea.
hmm
If they want to do the whole visa lottery thing, then, well, there you
can
go.
you can have citizenship if you can make it past the line. Run. What do you think? I'm basically I'm going for a sort of a Running Man effect. What do you think?
I
If you
think it would
can,
be. I think it would be better if we had cyber cats.
dude, I'm still okay with both Cyber Cats and Cat Girls. So Cyber Cat Girls really rocks for me, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Well, you've watched Outlaw Star, right?
Yes.
You know the one part where they're at like the fancy lobster restaurant and the dude has the two cat looking robots, but their faces are like guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get a couple of those things. It's like, bro, if you can make it past this designated area of space and not get killed by these cybernetic cats with gun faces, Yep, you know what? You won. Like, welcome.
Fair. And Susan, possible concept for that is you actually have automated gun turrets. People can pay to actually take control of and take shots at people. If they take people out, they get the benefit. Literally, Call of Duty, but in real life. What do you think? I shouldn't be saying this out loud, should I?
I mean, it makes us sound inhumane, and it's kind of giving that one person some credibility when they say you're a monster. But at the
Oh,
same
they have
time,
no idea what monster it is.
I'm not the
They
one in.
go on.
Well, here's the thing, I'm not the one encouraging you to come over here and put yourself at risk. So, am I the monster for saying, no, don't do this? Or are you the monster for encouraging people to do it?
Oh, they are the monster. Okay. Let's be honest. They are putting you into a situation where your death is almost guaranteed in the desperate hope of gaining citizenship. Look, if they make it, they should get citizenship, at which point you then put them into the American Olympics running team. Win, win, win. All the way.
And I can't really disagree.
Yeah.
That's the annoying
Oh,
part.
my ideas are truly horrific, but equally they all actually might work if people got rid of that annoying little thing called humanity. They can get past
Well,
that and
see,
actually do this suggestion. It's not necessarily a bad idea.
here's the fucked up part.
Mhm.
Let's just take the sci-fi hypotheticals out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the one encouraging people to cross thousands of miles worth of land in
Yep.
unfriendly conditions, uh, where I don't know, you might be abducted, you might be kidnapped, you might be sold into sex slavery, human trafficking, you might be murdered. You know, all these crazy things could happen to you before you ever even hit the southern border. And then, oh,
You
by
are
the way, once you do hit it and you try to cross illegally, fucked up shit can still happen to you. And let's say you really do make it through and nothing bad happens to you, you'll still be apprehended by border services and detained. And, you know, it's not going to be the cushy life that all of these idealistic morons promised you. So, who is worse? Me telling you don't do this? There is a legal, proper process for doing these things. And then there's the alternative. And the alternative is a lot more dangerous. Who is
Mm-hmm.
worse, me
Oh, well,
or
yeah.
the other person?
Oh, yeah. No, you are correct. Right. Uh, SSM. Of course, they can be 50 cal Browning auto turrets, just because A, that's funny, and for Sixer, Ave Dominus Hydra. Okay. Now we find out if he really can speak the language or not.
It, you're having too much fun with this, Jensen.
Oh, I'm loving every second of it. And the worst thing is assuming this world doesn't actually go to terminal shit show. I mean, it makes Mad Max look good. I actually think my suggestions might actually become part of what people are doing. Okay, as much as you people are sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, they'd never do that." You go back 30 years from right now, so go back to the 90s and look at the difference between the politics of the 90s and the politics of now, and you look at what we're willing to let happen, and no one says a damn word. Cough, cough, all of the various groomers. Cough, cough, all of the other shit that goes on in the world. You tried that back in the 90s, they would string you up by your short and curlies and wouldn't think twice about it. Now they're considering it. So what are they going to do in 20 years?
I don't want to think about that, actually.
I, yeah, I'm not wrong though here, am I?
As disturbing as it is to admit, no, you're not.
I mean, seriously, right? You go back to, I don't know, with America, Reagan. Here you go. Go back to the Reaganite era, and you suggest bringing in pedos as part of the LGBTQ BBC and ITV brigade. They are going to think you're insane and have you put away and not think twice about it. Yeah, sound about right?
Close. Very close.
Whereas if you did it now, they'd sit down and probably call you brave and things like that. I agree, Sean. They do. And I would use rusty nails if I was you. A lot more fun. He said maps belong on the wall.
Ye-
Did I say it out loud again? Oh no, that's a thing.
yeah, that sounds a little bit too lenient.
Yeah, well, I didn't say what I was doing to them when they're on the wall. I'm
Fair
just gonna
point.
say dartboard. Okay, dartboard, flechette gun. Okay, need to say any more?
No, I think we come to agreement on that one.
hmm Anyway, talking about all the horrible things of the world, why don't you tell people your thoughts on those absolute geniuses you've been talking to on Twitter about? Because I'm sure that you must have it all nice and built up inside you, ready to explode about
Uh yeah.
now.
Yeah. I'm surprised I'm actually even about to have this rant.
I'm not.
I I try to maintain some faith in humanity. It's not holding up well.
I don't.
Oh, let's see. Where where do I begin? Because this I was hoping MC was going to be around, but yeah, I guess we're just gonna jump into this one. Fuck it.
Yep.
And I hate the fact that I just said jump into it because Philip DeFranco is a sellout fucking shill garbage piece of shit.
Okay.
But okay, where do I begin?
One, who the fuck is Philip DeFranco?
It someone who should not be relevant anymore.
Okay, that makes life easier. Carry on, mate.
So this all begins with a particular I believe it's Washington. What's she? Washington Post. Damn it! Now I have to check this. Yeah, Washington Post journalist. I forget her name. I don't care. Uh, the the bitch that was went on TV and was fake crying about women who harassed and
Oh
bullied.
yeah, I saw about that. Yep.
Yeah, that fucking bitch.
hmm
So she is trying to, for the Washington Post, compile an expose piece on the anonymous person who runs the Libs of TikTok account.
Okay.
This is what really kicked this whole thing off. You would think it would be the whole Florida Don't Say Gay bill, absolute nonsense bullshit, but no, this is what really got these individuals to come out of the woodwork.
Pause. Can we actually just call it the anti-groomer bill? That is, after all, what it is.
It indeed it is. It is an
Okay.
anti-groomer bill.
Sorry, but calling it a "Don't Say Gay" bill is false information. Call it what it is: the anti-groomer bill. Please carry on.
So yeah, this garbage tier activist propagandist masquerading as a journalist was exposed as trying to go out to dox the anonymous person who runs the Libs of TikTok account. I don't know who runs that account. I don't care. All I know is the vast majority of things they've been posting over the past month or so are far left regressive liberals, specifically teachers, exclaiming to the world what they think, how they think, what they're
Hmm.
doing in the classroom, how they interact with children, what their belief sets are. And the most extreme thing I've seen them say is, yeah, they're grooming your children. They're not wrong. It, they, they're flat out admitting to grooming. This is the fucking definition of grooming.
Hmm.
So now you have this hacktivist fucking journalist coming out trying to dox this individual. And you have people on Twitter openly advocating for grooming children. And they can't seem to figure out why engaging with prepubescent children in sexual conversations is making people perturbed, pissed off. They find it to be unacceptable.
Can't think why.
I don't think they're actually capable of realizing why their position is wrong.
Wow.
And I'm actually saying this with the utmost honesty. I'm not even going to go on a rant on this one. I'm going to say this just from the interactions I've had. They don't see why a 7th grader giving a presentation about sexually charged topics, LGBTQ or not, they don't see why it's wrong. I'm not joking. They literally don't understand why.
Oh dear. Okay.
And you can point out, as I've tried, where do you think they got these topics from? Who do you think introduced them to these topics? Why are they presenting it to the rest of the student body? Like, do you not see why this is inappropriate? Because it's not like they're just presenting it to students. They're not talking to it with their girlfriends over the phone. They're presenting it to the entire student body. This is in an academic setting. And these are all prepubescent kids. We're talking about kindergarten and one is 7th grade. They don't understand why a 7th grader in an auditorium talking about LGBTQ whatever plus issues, gender identity and sexuality is inappropriate.
Okay.
That I wish I was making this shit up. I'm not.
Okay. Oh, hold it. I'm gonna have to say this. All right. I don't care what sexuality people have. I don't care what religion, what gender, what ethnicity, what anything people have. As long as they're decent people and they're adults, all is good. The moment you try and put any of this weird ass shit on kids, and I realize most of you being American will define kids as basically below 16. I know before you start, 17 to 18. I know technically you guys still consider them kids, but let's be honest, that is young adult and you know it. So you put it on kids, which is basically from birth all the way through just like 16. No, just stop. Okay. It isn't right. It isn't humane. It isn't normal. Please just stop. Do carry on there, Doku. Just wanted to say that.
It's frustrating because not only do these people not understand why it's inappropriate, they they are somehow of the opinion that not wanting to talk to kids about sexual topics is strange or bullying. I, They think it's discrimination or marginalization. I'm not really sure what the argument is. It changes so frequently. The only thing I am aware of through their own admission, not my own observation, but through their own admission themselves, is I think this is okay. If if I if I had a son or a daughter, let's just say 7th grade. We'll go with the oldest one I've seen thus far.
Okay.
If I had a son or a daughter in 7th grade, and without my knowledge, the school or the teacher or both was talking to them about anything sexually related. I don't care if it was LGBT, I don't care if it's gender identity, I don't care if it's explaining why you need to get married and have kids. I, I don't care if it's why you should or shouldn't have an abortion. Why are you talking to strangers, prepubescent or going through puberty, children, about sexual topics, and you think it's okay? It's not. This is not teaching kids about biology, and that's what a lot of people will come out and try to say. We're just teaching them about biology. No, biology is an actual science.
Yep.
Biology is chromosomes,
Mm-hmm.
uterus. It, there's even still contention about sex ed. And to be blunt, I don't think sex ed should be taught in public schools. It,
Mm-hmm.
I still find that creepy.
Yep.
Why the flying fuck are you moronic weirdos so obsessed with talking to other people's kids about sexually charged topics and then lose your shit when people call you out for being fucking groomers? Because that's what you're doing. You're grooming kids towards a specific sexual identity. And I don't care if it's cisgender or heterosexual or straight or gay or lesbian or bi or non binary or trans or this. That. Stop talking to fucking kids about sex.
Question for you, mate. I realise different countries, different rules, but in my country, we actually had this whole thing that was taught to kids of if an adult tries to have one of those conversations with you, you should actually tell either your parents, a teacher, or a policeman. Now, I'm assuming that your country has something similar to this, but you can't do that now because your police are going to ignore it. Your parents are, put it bluntly, a waste of skin, and the teachers are probably the ones having the conversation with you anyway. What the hell are we supposed to do?
It's kind of concerning when the teachers having these conversations with children explicitly and specifically are trying to tell the kids not to tell the parents that they're having these conversations with them.
Not like that has any connection to any of the groups that I'm discussing. Don't tell your parents. It's our secret. Yet you use that term, you're going to find yourself in the back of a police car getting the living crap beaten out of you by large policemen with truncheons or nightsticks for you guys.
Um,
Oh,
I'm more surprised that this is even a conversation that we're having to have in a somewhat serious manner of discussion right now, because this, to me, this should be pretty straightforward. I don't see why this is controversial at all.
mm-hmm.
But for some reason, here we are in this hellscape of a land where you have fucking morons coming out and saying, well, you're trying to harass the. No, I'm not trying to harass anybody. What I want you to do is not harass me for telling you what you're doing is wrong, because it shouldn't take a fucking genius to realize talking to other people's fucking children about sex is wrong, especially when you're doing it without the parents' knowledge or consent, you fucking perverted maniac.
Mm-hmm.
This shouldn't be a point of contention. This shouldn't be an argument. This should not be a debate. What you're doing is fucking. It's not even wrong. It is wrong, but it's beyond that. It's strange. It is twisted. It's concerning. I don't know. I don't know why anybody that doesn't have some sort of trauma or past like traumatic experience. I don't know how you go about trying to justify this unless you're unless I'll be blunt. I'll just flat out fucking say it. Unless you're a fucking pedophile and you think pedophilia is okay, unless you think talking to underage prepubescent children about sexual or sexually charged topics is okay, I don't see how in any rational way you can justify this position.
To cross over with a slightly religious twang to it, about that column of salt. I'm just saying, okay? Just saying. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Okay. Shirati is suggesting it's time for you to do some reading. Okay. Boys have cooties. I'll bring it up so as you can see it. There you go. You have a good time trying to pronounce that. She wants you
Uh, boys have cooties, girls have cooties. When those cooties combine, you get a baby. If either or both have hypercooties, you end up with
to. Yeah.
gonoheridosyphilis or
Yeah, that'll do.
gonorrhearis.
Yep.
Wow, I'm actually having trouble with this. Damn it, Sharati.
You got to admit, it's a good sounding disease. That'll deal with a lot of your problems suddenly.
Gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea, syphilitis. Sorry, syphilitis. Yeah, syphilitis. That's it.
That was kind of close, I guess.
Yep.
I'll take it. Whatever.
Yep. So you admit that you'll actually take gonorrhea syphilitis. Interesting to know.
Damn it.
Hey, your choice, mate. You said it, not me. You do it every time, dude. You really do.
Yeah, I know.
And
I'm supposed to be having an angry rant, but
it's not going to work.
I'm just gonna bite my tongue because I'm just gonna say something else that's Jensen.
Yes. I'll stop.
Damn it, Jensen.
Yes. Anyway,
we're not supposed to be making light of this topic, Jensen.
We have to make light of it because if you don't laugh, you'll end up screaming, going berserk, and killing 50 people. Come on.
That is probably the most accurate thing that will ever be said on any of these streams.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I win the internet just for that, but it had to be said, all right? Of course I'm a proper Brit. I mean, I even drink tea. Oh, no, that's right. You drink tea as well, don't you, dear?
Uh-oh. Do you need to bring somebody onto the chat, have a little back and forth?
No. I'm sure Shirati doesn't want to lose again. I reckon if that don't get her in, nothing will. Now then, to be completely honest, mate, with what you're saying, you're right. Unfortunately, you also know full damn freaking well that this world is going badly. And thank you, Shirati. I know I did. And that wasn't actually a piss take. That was actually me being accurate. Thank you. You're correct. Like I say, people and the way they are nowadays, just imagine what it's going to be like in 20 years when they look back and, oh, do you remember when we used to discuss this? Oh yeah, 10 years ago we let that in. Now we're on to, and you just insert new weird and twisted thing. And let's be honest, it probably involve animals. If they're looking at kids now, it will definitely involve animals, and you know it.
Yeah, and this is not the type of jokes that we make about like Elon's gonna flood the world with cat girls or anything.
No, I'm not making funnies now. I'm actually being serious.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but hey, is what it is. How can you stop progress? Oh, that's right. It's not like progress and progressives has a connection now, does it?
yeah, that's why we call them regressives now.
Yeah, yeah. But,
Oh, and
anyway,
Susan, I did see an article talking about that where they're not just encouraging masturbation in 5th grade, they're trying to provide visual aids for it.
did you see that there is a summer camp all about sexy time?
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Did that make you want to scrub your own eyes with bleach?
Uh no, it made me wonder why ammunition is so expensive.
This is a fair statement. Horrifying, isn't it? Sexy time summer camp for kids. I mean, they literally called it sexy time, sexy summertime for kids. What? What is wrong with this world?
You know, I'm not sure if I am in a sense of I don't know if I'm calm at the moment because I'm angry or if because I have somehow managed to find a rare moment where I don't want to believe the things I know to be true are actually true.
Self delusion is something that humanity can do really well.
I have a feeling sometime in the next 30 seconds to 2 minutes, I'm probably going to rant.
Do you think? Yeah. Can't think
It
why. It's not like anything's going on.
I had to read a couple of things just to see in the time that we'd been talking if any developments had happened on the absolute fucking hellscape known as Twitter.
Okay. Just saying it, okay? Just so it's been stated. Ladies, gentlemen, whatever else you want to call yourself, don't go to Twitter. It's at the best. I mean, seriously, at its absolute nicest, it is a toxic waste hole that will eat your soul. Then it goes downhill from there. Am I
Oh,
wrong?
you're
Oh,
you're not you're
hmm
not wrong.
you said, oh, is never good with you.
It
They did
it's
something, didn't they?
y- yeah.
Is it
Um
rant time?
it it will be. I'm gonna I I apologize for the squeaky door in advance. I am going to have a smoke after
Hmm.
reading this because
You
I
know
want
they
to make
now all want to know what you read, don't you?
they will. They
Mm.
will. I just want to make sure I'm reading up through this thread so I
Okay.
represent anything because I don't want to misrepresent anything. I
No. Accuracy is
don't
actually vital.
yeah, I don't think I'm going to, but I want to make sure I don't.
Mhm. There's absolutely nothing wrong with gonorrhea, syphilitis. It's actually a perfectly valid thing. Congratulations, SSM. Well done, mate. Nice one. As of 5:30 this morning, he has twin nieces. So much
Oh,
congratulations, dude.
congratulations, Sith. Man, that I wish the topic of conversation was different, but
Yeah.
congratulations, man. Homeschool your children.
Seriously, homeschool. Okay. I come from a country where homeschool is not natural. From Sixer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rant. So, are you mentally prepared for this, sir? I want to give people the full warning. So, do you think you are heading towards ready? That's a yes. In that case, ladies, gentlemen, and whatever else you want to call yourself, Doku is going to be allowed to say whatever he bloody well wants, and I'm not actually going to get involved. Doku, go crazy, mate. Have fun.
Yeah. Oh boy. So according to, you know what? I I almost feel bad for doing this.
Hmm.
Like I said, almost.
Okay.
But consider the topic of conversation. I am not going to feel bad at all because whoever the fuck this person is, they can go jump off a fucking cliff for all I fucking care. Let's just go ahead and share for the audience so you can read along with me and you can see the absolute fucking cancer.
I hope you're all sitting down, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to begin. Now, don't forget, before we do not go after this person. I have nothing to do with you choosing to go after this person. Okay, I said what I need to say. All yours.
Yeah, you know, we don't condone harassment, blah, 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 this and that. You know how it goes. So I had responded to this clay-hearted ghoul. Nice name there. Not actually, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Libs of TikTok is the same breed of depressed losers that's created on 4chan who can only find a fucked up sense of joy in trying to harass marginalized people on the internet into self-harm. The worst type of person. Not me in the pic. They harass people by rolling tape to a hostile audience. Sounds an awful lot like what Taylor Lorenz, and I don't care if you go and harass that person. She bitched and moaned and complained about it on national TV. Fuck her. Working for the Washington Post was trying to do, but with exposing involved. Now this person, this is going to be the star of our show this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I exclude anyone? I don't care. National Charlie. Who are you, by the way? Good to know. Why are you offended by this Lorenz person? Why do you folks keep forcing her into these arguments? Rob, accurately stated. Because that moron cried on national TV about being doxxed. Then the bitch turns around and does it to someone else. Taylor Lorenz? Ken, don't care if you go harass that person. Oh, I'm sorry. I should not condone harassment, but I don't care if you do. Is going to be having a very bad day, as she well deserves. Reporting about someone posting lies to an aggro group online isn't something to scoff at. I'm assuming there's supposed to be an at there. The crowd that, libs of TikTok, pushes for are not normal. Okay, let's just stop there real quick. So, the people that the libs of TikTok account is showcasing, not really throwing them out there. They say it themselves. They put themselves out there on the internet. Here's a fucking thought. If you're worried or afraid or concerned that people might see how you act, how you think, how you might interact with their children, especially without their knowledge or consent, might not like what you're doing, Maybe you shouldn't be making fucking TikTok videos about it, you fucking vapid, stupid shit. But I digress. The crowd that lives with TikTok pushers are not normal. No, you're not the normal one here, dude. I don't know. I'm sorry. I assumed your fucking pronoun. I don't give a shit. You're not the normal one for wanting to fucking talk or justify talking to fucking kids about sex. You're not the normal one. Let's continue. Either the people with rainbow hairdos and men pretending to be women, but the left courts them, so they understand that science more than than folks like you who deny it. Science of what? Sexuality and gender. Oh boy. Oh, we have more replies. Should you mean the same science that labels it a mental disorder, gender dysphoria? No science has stated. Just go ahead and. Just go ahead and would anyone?
I thought science had actually stated it counts as a mental defect. I mean, I could be wrong here. I don't know. I'm willing to admit I am wrong, but I think they actually have already said that, haven't they?
I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
That is being nice.
I'll be very nice. I am being very measured.
Unnaturally nice, mate. Sorry.
Being very measured. But so let's see how the discussion is going. Oh wait, hold on, wait a second.
That's a lot. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. DSM-5 thing. Whatever. I agree with you, mate.
Again, I'm gonna read this very carefully. Gender dysphoria. A concept designated in the DSM-5 as clinically significant distress or impairment related to a strong desire to be of another gender, which may include desire to change primary and or secondary sex characteristics. Not all transgender or gender diverse people experience dysphoria. So, is it safe to say that this is indeed a scientifically proven ailment?
Well, it's a concept designated by a DSM-5, so yes.
It does say clinically significant, so I would assume that means science does recognize this as a thing. It's not just emotions or feelings. This is an actual clinical thing. We can look at this and say, no, there is science behind this to prove that this is not just I feel like A or B or C or D. So they just debunked their own okay.
Yep.
All right.
It's almost like they're doing the work for you, though, isn't it?
I just wanted to be sure because you debunked your own previous statement, Charlie.
You're a fuckwit.
Maybe don't shoot yourself in the foot next time because you just see, this is my fucking point. These people believe that they are correct in this. They're not.
I think you have another notification. I think someone said something.
Oh boy, let's just go. Let's go up and find out.
Mhm.
So, should I dye my hair blue, groom children, and say I'm meant to be?
Hmm.
uh, I just gotta say,
Oh, come on, that deserves a
I,
like. Just
I
it
know it
makes you
does.
chuckle.
It
Okay.
does. I, I love the people that follow me on Twitter because damn, they have no chill, but it's appropriate and deserved.
Yep.
Uh, but it's true. These people think like they're you're just trying to bully and harass the LGBT community. No, we want you to not talk to kids about sex. I don't know why you don't understand that. Like, Jensen, help me
Yeah.
here. Why is it
Certainly.
so difficult to understand for these individuals? They know more about science. Bro, they don't know if they're a fucking man or a woman, and they want to talk to kids about it.
Dude, the correct thing is that's not the question. You're going to go, yes, it is. No, it isn't. The question is, why are they bringing in the LGBT community when it comes to grooming kids? Are they trying to suggest that everyone in the LGBT BBC ITV community like to diddle kids? Are they suggesting that all of these people are actually groomers? What is wrong with this picture, ladies and gentlemen? Really? Okay. They're trying to suggest that just because you have a different outlook on life, you like to play with children. And I don't just mean normal games. Because this is what they are saying. And I realize exactly how likely this is to get me banned. And guess what? I don't care. I really don't.
Neither do I.
Hey, Moon. From Shirati, I've heard something called neurodivergent. Makes people with brain problems, predominantly autism, identify as having any type of brain disorder. Okay, yeah. Doesn't mean it makes bloody, that you should be allowed to get away with it. Personally, it just sounds like an overexcited excuse. Neurodivergent. I mean, back in the old days, the technical term of neurodivergent is nut job and then be put in the crazy house. You know it and I know it.
I know my wording here is off.
Hmm. No, actually, I've just read it. That sounds perfectly reasonable. What's the problem?
There's something about the first part that's kind of annoying me.
What I want to know is why these particular individuals want to lump grooming kids with the LGBT community. Everything you said there makes perfect sense. You've used acceptable grammar. I do not see where the problem is.
You know what? I'm deferring to the Brit.
Hmm.
There
No,
goes.
I'm being very serious, mate. That seems like perfectly acceptable grammar to me. Your spelling seemed reasonable. I don't see an issue.
Well, but I mean, it's a valid point. I have I have friends that I talk to that are part of the LGBT community. Well, granted, they actually say they hate them because of shit like this, but that is neither here nor there. I have friends who are gay, bi, trans. I I I would go out. I don't even have to go out on a limb. I know for a fact if they were trying to say you're just bullying the LGBT community because we're calling you morons out, or morons, lunatics, fucking perverts for trying to talk to prepubescent kids about sex, they'd be pretty pissed off because it would make them look bad. The same way that it would be like if, as a cis straight heterosexual white male, if you're trying to talk to kids about the same thing and lumped me in with it as part of some sort of collectivist group, I'd be pissed off too because I wouldn't agree with that either. Hey, don't talk to kids about sex. Let them be kids. It shouldn't be a difficult fucking concept to grasp. I don't know why it is, but lo and fucking behold, here we are. These individuals are trying to normalize this shit. And I say individuals for a very specific reason. I do believe this is the vast majority of the LGBT community. I would like to see the majority of them stand up and call this shout and be like, yeah, this is not us. Hey, we do not support grooming kids. I don't know why they do, but do not fucking lump us in with the same group as these fucking nut jobs, because we're not about this. Hey. And if anybody knows anybody that is part of the LGBT community, I would encourage you to encourage them to actively speak up and against this, because it's making you look like fucking pedophile or pedophile sympathizers. I know everyone had a freak out a while back about like the whole minor attracted persons thing and the ageism and that type of stuff, and the LGBT community went up in arms about that. But suddenly teachers and teachers unions get involved, and all of a sudden y'all got real fucking quiet. You should be up in fucking arms about this shit.
Yes.
Why aren't you?
Because they're good little idiots. They're doing what they're told, which is shut up and just agree.
Well, that's what I know. That's what I want to know, though. Mm-hmm. If you guys, if your whole community was at threat of being cast in a negative light, and you're afraid of bullying and being looked down upon by society, why are you not calling these people out and excommunicating the shit out of them, saying like, no, they have nothing to do with us? They cut them off completely, call them out, make it very public, very well known, widespread that these people do not represent us. We do not support grooming children. We do not want to talk to kids about sex. That shouldn't be that difficult of a thing to do. You not doing it. It should happen right now, immediately, unless you're defending people who are pedophiles. You're either a pedophile or a groomer. It's one of the fucking two. Or you're defending someone or know someone who is. Hey, or you're trying to normalize it. Hey, are you lying about not being about these things? Because if you're not speaking out against it, what are you? Isn't this the same marginalized group that talk about like, oh, silence and violence? If you're not speaking out against it, then you support it. Well, okay, two can play at that fucking game. If you're not speaking out against it, then you support it. Why the fuck are you not speaking out against it? We shit are. Where the fuck are you?
Mm-hmm.
What do we have here? Damn it, Natalie. Because they're saying they are part of that community. Most LGBTQ are pissed the groomers associate their group with them. There we go. I'll see what responses those get.
Mm-hmm.
And
apparently you broke your mic.
Did I?
Apparently, according to Shirati, yeah.
Okay, well, for that, I apologize.
Mm-hmm. I like the number of people that liked your thing about I'm American, not Ukrainian. Got a few there. That's not bad.
Oh. We somewhat lighten the mood a little bit and let people know what that's all about.
Yeah, go on. Give them something to laugh at.
Yeah, I thought this one should have been rather straightforward. Hey, I don't know, Jensen. Do you think my response was insensitive in any way?
Dude, let's go through it, okay? Let's take a poll. Do you care about Ukraine or do you care about stopping the invasion of our southern border? Doku put, I'm American, not Ukrainian. He never said anything wrong. It's not like he declared anything apart from he's an American. Now, unless, and I'm not, I don't want to push judgment here, but unless you're lying about being an American, I reckon you didn't lie about what you said there. Is there anything you want to tell me?
I, I
Dokuski.
I'm an American, not a Ukrainian. Duh.
So we're to call you Dokuovich now, are we? Okay, good to know. I don't want to do that because that actually might become a thing. So yeah, let's maybe not make that joke.
Damn it, Jensen.
Da Dokuski.
But
Actually, hold it. Haven't you been accused of being a Russian bot?
yes, apparently, because I refused to put a Ukrainian flag in my Twitter bio. For that makes me a Russian bot and a Putin sympathizer, apparently.
Rocking. You should have put the I Love Trump flag in it and screw them.
That
Would be a lie, I know, because you don't like Trump overtly, but nonetheless, it would be an absolutely outstanding fuck you to him, wouldn't
it would be. It would. But it is what I said somehow insensitive.
No, I'm okay with it.
I didn't say I did. I guess I suggested I don't care about Ukraine.
No, actually, you didn't. What you suggested is you're an American, not Ukrainian. That was all you said. You did not say that the war in Ukraine is atrocious. You did not say that the war in Ukraine is justified. You, in fact, only said that you're an American. That's it. Nothing else.
That's how I took it, but I guess certain people would take it differently because I guess certain people view this as me saying I support Russia invading Ukraine. It
But you don't.
it. I mean, I don't see unless there was a heavy amount of bias coming into reading my response to begin with. I don't see how you would have that takeaway because I don't. But I I'm no expert on geopolitics, but I'm also not Ukrainian. I don't know. I don't know the situation going on between Russia and Ukraine. I'm sorry. I understand the southern border a lot better than I do the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And
Yeah.
and I know which one matters more to me. And I know
Mm-hmm.
which one is a lot closer to home. I know which situation I understand better. So it felt like an appropriate response.
Fair.
But yeah, apparently, so we'll go to oh wait. I guess I oh wait, never mind. I'm dumb.
Okay.
This also makes me an immoral twit. Which again, I would like to know if my reply on this one was a bit too aggressive, maybe. I'm looking for an outside source because I don't think I'm out of line. But what do you think, Jetson?
Like I said to you before this stream, they can say what they like, mate. They're just commenting. I reckon a lot of them are trolls and idiots. Okay, you could literally flip a coin on their comments whether they're trolls or idiots. So, as I've pointed out, their opinion means absolutely nothing. Don't let their opinion matter to you. They don't matter. This Mary Briggs person, who, again, please do not go after, please do not say anything bad about them. They'd do it all themselves. Who cares what she thinks? Basically, if you ever want her opinion, you'll tell her what your opinion is.
Oh, honestly, I would just like to say thank you, Mary Briggs, for giving me content.
Mm. To be honest, mate, being accused of being immoral, that's not bad. I mean, with the morality of the modern day, I would actually be happy to be immoral. After all, the morality of today is to talk sex to children.
Fair point.
Thank you.
I'll just say, I guess the one thing that irritates me the most about this, of all the things I could be called an immoral twit for, is the comment for me saying I'm an American, not a Ukrainian. It's like,
how dare you be American?
It's like, really? Of all the twisted, messed up shit I could possibly say, this is what gets me called an immoral twit. I feel like I've been cheated out of something. Like, I could have said so much worse shit. It's like, really? If I knew I was gonna get like at least one person pissed off at me, I could have at least like gone for broke.
Fair. If I may, Susan, I wouldn't worry too much with the whole nuke thing. You actually only need 5 nuclear devices to hit 5 specific places on the planet, and you will crack the entire planet in two, and all life will be wiped out. Don't worry about nukes. We're either A, completely all dead, or B, no one's actually going to have the balls to do it because it's pretty much well known for those that make things go boom. Okay?
Boom. Well, you know what? As long as it starts wildfires, then at least my investment in Eyeless will be okay.
To be honest, it will stop wildfires because it will burn off all the atmosphere. You need atmosphere to have wildfires, like it or not.
That is a fair point.
Yeah, that's all right.
But just what do you think about this one? Tell me I'm.
It's true. 30 years ago, you could have all these things happen, and all that counts as basically growing experience.
I know that, but how? When you think about it, though, like, how sad is that to actually come to that realization? Like, we used to put this shit in movies, like the nerdy kid gets his glasses broken, gets his lunch money stolen, gets the swirly in the fucking toilet, gets beat up after school, has his bike stolen from him. And like what even for the kids that this shit happened in real life, unless they like completely have a mental break, in which case, your dad comes home a little bit drunk and smacks you and you're like, why'd you punch him in the face? Oh, it's like punch him in the face next time.
Mm-hmm.
That was how shit was done, 30, 40 years ago.
Not now.
He's fucking with you, fuck with him back.
Yes.
And again, we used to, I'm not going to say we used to idealize that type of shit, but we used to teach this type of shit to people. Like, you stand up for yourself. You don't let the kid shove your head in the fucking toilet. You don't let him steal your lunch money. You beat the crap out of him. Nobody else is going to fuck with you. Half the time you become friends with the bully.
Dude, you know you're not going to stand up for yourself now. How are the government supposed to bully you if you go around standing up for yourself? Really?
Well, see, now every time the fucking bully just sits there and say, but I identify as, and they're discriminating against me, and then the teacher puts you in timeout, and it's like, oh, they're the one that punched me and stole my lunch money. No, but they're marginalized and oppressed. How dare you do that type of thing? Like, that's why the last statement here is important.
Yeah.
You use the fucking wrong pronoun.
Just want to say, hold up, this whole thing about being put in timeout, just want to point out it means absolutely nothing. Teacher puts you in timeout, you say fuck you and walk out of timeout. What they can do, physically grab you? I don't think so. Okay, just something to think about. You tried that 30 years ago. The teacher would give you a backhand around the ear and tell you to go and sit down and shut up. Hey?
Yeah. You're lucky.
Oh yeah, I'm talking as a minimum. You'd get a slap, and you'd be told to sit down, shut up, and get on with your schoolwork. Okay, not go sit in the corner and stay quiet. No, because the number of
It,
times that would happen to me, go and sit down, be quiet. Why should I?
yeah. And, oh, by the way,
You.
that schoolwork better be done by the final bell. Otherwise, you get double the homework too.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah.
all of that better be done by tomorrow.
Yeah. It's, dude, it's literally it's like you were at the same school as me. Disturbing.
But it's true. It's like you didn't put up with bullshit. Like nowadays, like nowadays, the idea of not putting up with bullshit is throwing a fucking temper tantrum. It
Um, dude, just want to respond to Shard if you don't mind. Hun, how about this? You'd cause trouble out on the street. The cop out would grab you, give you a slap round the ear, drag you home, hand you over to your parents, and the parents, in front of the copper, would give you a slap round the ear for being an idiot, and then give you a slap round the ear for wasting the copper's time. How do I know this? Hi. That happened more than once. It's how shit was done as a kid. I mean, I know that you agree with me with that.
I believe we used to call that a learning experience.
Exactly. Nowadays, they would literally fall to pieces and die.
I don't know what they would do if you actually. Well, let's be honest, dude. Nowadays, they are in the vicinity of a cop and they have a freaking mental breakdown, and the cop is like, "Are you high?" No, I'm not high. Well, then why are you? I'm not high. I don't feel comfortable with you in my space. Hey,
Yeah.
ma'am, we're just here to pick up sandwiches. No, don't talk to me. Uh, okay. Don't turn your back to me. I feel threatened. It's like, good lord, can I just have my sandwiches? Like,
Dude, a few years ago, something I saw which appalled the living hell out of me was apparently those on the left, the kids specifically on the left, were scared if you put full stops in your message. Apparently, it was triggering for them. Or period for you guys.
hold, hold on.
No, I'm not joking.
I
No,
still
no,
type out full
truly.
stop.
I know. I know. That would actually trigger them.
But why? I don't I don't understand.
Cold. No, it actually I can tell you their reason. I'm not saying it makes a good reason, I'm just saying it's their reason. It's because it's ending a conversation and not giving them the chance to respond. Yeah.
I'm so curious.
Mm-hmm. Don't put full stop, you'll upset someone.
What do you think?
And that what you need to actually let people know, does it trigger people? You need to let them know because if it triggers them, they're probably not going to say anything. Does this trigger you? Yeah. Shirati, you are so correct. But I'm not joking. The kids, actually, I can't remember which university it was specifically. I think it was Cambridge in England. They were refusing to use it and they were complaining that teachers would because it triggered them. Just hit tweet, go, 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 go. Do it. That's it.
I I swear if it somehow does, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I
Apart, just admit I'm right and walk away. It's easier. In this
but
situation, no, I'm being serious, dude. This situation, shit, Quinn was right. Walk away. Okay. Oh, look, she liked what you put. Anything you want to say, mate?
where is this? This person, dude, like,
Yes.
okay, they're hockey,
Hmm.
hockey.
Canadian, of course, it's bloody hockey.
The friendly relate. Did Canada ever have friendly relations? You know what? I don't even want to know the answer.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, I saw that one. That gave me a chuckle. Hey, Jim. Yeah, I'm telling you, mate. Get talking to this person, invite them on, and get them to give their opinion. I think it will be hilarious, no matter what YouTube does to us. I really think it'll be funny. Oh God, you're actually gonna. Awesome, good. I'm glad you are. And that's what that icon meant. Okay, cool. Hmm. I think that this just would be fun. And again, if this person likes to give it all this about stuff, this will give them the opportunity to actually have their say and for people to see it. If they just want to hide on Facebook, on Twitter, and say it, then fine. If they've actually got a proverbial pair of balls, step forward and say what you need to. It's not like we're going to have a go at you. We would just like your opinion. Hmm. By the way, you spelled hey wrong. It's Hey.
I'll
First,
fix that in a second.
first word. Yep. Hmm.
How would you word it?
That actually sounds perfectly reasonable, mate. I have no problem with what you've put there. That way, they've got the opportunity of speaking to you. Worst case scenario, they say they don't respond. If they do, even if they just say no, thank you, that's fine. That's all you need.
All right, well, that's done.
Yeah.
I think that's enough Twitter for today, though.
Yep. All right.
If they say yes, it'll be damn amusing because yeah, they throw out hot takes. Like, bro, I thought we were bad about hot takes, but damn.
Oh dear God, dude, they've said some things that actually make me stop and take a breath. But before I say what I want to at the end, is there anything else you wish to say to the lovely people?
I don't know why you're wasting time listening to. Well, Jensen, I can understand, but I don't know why you're wasting time listening to someone like me, let alone looking at my fucking antics on the internet.
Mm. Actually, Jacob, you are completely correct, and I have said exactly the same thing to him, mate. All jokes aside, Twitter is a toxic waste pit. Step away from it while you've got what little sanity you have. Now, if you've
You're
got nothing else to say, okay, ladies, gentlemen, whatever else you want to call yourself, in 4 days, it's the anniversary of Cabby's death. If you know who Cabby was, then that's all I need to say. If you don't know him, then it doesn't matter. 4 days is when he died. Okay, that's all I need to say. Anything else, Doku, or does that pretty much cover all the places we need?
yeah. I don't think there's really anything else to cover other than I don't know why you or Jacob think I had any sanity to begin with, but that aside.
Maybe you borrowed it from Cam. And
That's
now I feel bad because I'm accusing her of insanity. Good point. All right, fair.
well, on that note, yeah, I don't have anything else to say for the lovely ladies and gentlemen that have
And
listened.
whatever else, don't
Uh,
be
uh,
nasty.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And whatever else you want to call yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Tuesday.
Yes.
Well, I hope you all have a great Tuesday and stay away from Twitter.
In that case, peoples, I'll see you all later. Maybe we'll do another one at another point. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll get shot. Maybe YouTube will send an assassin to kill us. I'm actually putting money on the last one out of all of them. But speak to you all later, people. Bye bye, everyone.